Hey guys, I wanted to start this video off by saying that I am in no way a medical professional. I'm simply making this video out of personal experience and for educational purposes. If you are having suicidal thoughts, please contact 911 or the suicide hotline. Over the past few months, I've been reading quite a bit of Terrence McKenna, Alan Watts, listening to Joe Rogan and Duncan Trussell, and I began to question the meaning of life. I began to question existence, the universe, and who I am and what my purpose is. About a few weeks ago, I was at Bledsoe Creek State Park with my dog Daisy, and I began to question the very core of my existence. I had no idea what my purpose was. I didn't know what I wanted out of life. I didn't know what I wanted to achieve. I didn't know what my personal end goal in life was and what I wanted. I had believed, and I still do believe, that our consciousness, our very souls deep down, way beyond our physical body, surpasses and outlives our time on this earth. Once we die, our consciousness still lives. And with that way of thinking, it's very hard to find meaning in the absurdity of life. Whether it be through reading, meditation, psychedelic drug use, whatever led you on the path to understanding that our consciousness never ever dies, and in our physical body, our life on this earth is quite meaningless in the whole grand scheme of things. You found yourself stuck in an existential crisis. So now what do? You've questioned yourself, you've questioned your existence. It's good to question that, question everything, but do understand, please understand that not every question deserves or has an answer to it. If you find yourself hung up on the question, what is the meaning of life? Alan Watts described it best, and I'm sure I'm butchering his words, so bear with me. There is no meaning behind a flower blossoming. It just does. It has no intentions on being the best flower. There is no best flower. So when fall approaches, the flower eventually dies. But the flower itself was still beautiful. Life is still beautiful. There is no end goal in life. The end of life is death. As we all know, death is inevitable. Everything you have known, everything you do know, everything you will ever know, even your dear, dear self, will eventually die. That's the end of life. So, to question what is the meaning of life is the same as questioning what is the meaning of music. Going back to Alan Watts, if the meaning of music were at the very end, if the meaning were the very last note, then that's all the orchestra would have to play, would be the very last note. But that's not why we listen to music. We don't listen just for the very end. We listen for the entirety of the song, the notes that make up chords, the rhythms, the beats, the rests in between the notes makes up the song. And that's what makes a song meaningful. It's the beginning, the middle, and the end. The entire song is what makes the song. I gave a book to my brother a little while ago called Buddhism Plain and Simple, and I can't remember the author right now. And without getting into too much detail, Buddhism, it is the practice of living in the moment, living in the now, understanding that life does mean death. You can't have one side to a coin. Life implies death, as death implies life. Understanding that everything dies, understanding there is suffering, but do not be attached to these thoughts and feelings. Simply be aware that they do exist. We will die. Live in the present, live in the now, because that's all we have is the now. We're right here. You're watching this video, I'm making this video, and this is all we have. So each day is a new note to your life song. Each week, each month is a new chord, however you want to look at it. I believe it was Joe Rogan who said it best, and I do like to think this way from time to time. Think about your life as a movie, and right now, you're the main character who's going through a shitty time, and you're just beat down, you're exhausted, life has fucking beat you the fuck up. And right now is when you start to climb out of that hole. You start your journey, you start your progress on becoming the best you that you can be, whether that be at your job, being more in tune with nature, being closer to your family, your loved ones, your friends, just being the best you that you can be, because that's all you have. You can think about consciousness, you can think about the universe, but that really doesn't matter, because right now, even though we're made of the same dust that stars are made of, we are not dead yet. I don't want to sound morbid, but we're not dead yet. We're alive right now, and we need to enjoy life as much as we can, because if you get too hung up on these questions, if you get too hung up on existentialism, it can and most likely will affect the ones that love you, even though if you may not see it, it can ruin relationships. It's good to question everything. Question everything. Even if you've come to the realization that our consciousness outlives our physical bodies and that there's no meaning of life on this earth. Too bad. This is all we have. We don't know. We don't know what happens when we die. We don't know if we're all one consciousness observing itself subjectively. We don't know if we're living in a matrix. We don't know. So don't worry, there's no answer, and there probably never will be an answer. What I'm getting at, it's good to question life, think about the universe, understand that everyone dies, but don't get caught up on it. It's not healthy to overthink life. Question life all you want, but just know that all we have right now is the present. All we have is right now. Live in the moment, appreciate life, care for and love everyone around you, and I promise life will be much, much better. Thank you guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll work on posting a new video once every week or so. Thank you.